Okay, so we are now recording to the cloud. Welcome, everyone. My name is Paul Julia. I am the business development manager for Collette in Virginia, Maryland, and the District of Columbia. Very glad to be partnering once again with Travel Leaders Action Travel in Waldorf, Maryland, with Leanne Keller. Always a pleasure to work with you all there to offer MRSPA, this wonderful tour of Eastern Canada. Um, so once again, welcome. And just to start off the presentation, I always like to kind of talk about what sort of sets Collette apart in guided travel. I think one of the key takeaways I get from constant traveler feedback I hear at presentations like this in person, especially our tour managers, we get really fantastic feedback on our tour managers. They are full-time employees of Collette, so they're not hired on a contractual basis, as needed basis, which means they really, I think, understand our tour products as well as our guests uh, in the best way possible. And these are people who are really, truly passionate and enthusiastic about the destinations they work in, and really um, work hard to provide our guests with a top level experience. Uh, we are a 4.5-star touring company staying at 4-star accommodations in major cities. Those hotels are going to be centrally located, so you're always at the center of things. Easy access to shopping, nightlife, restaurants, um, some sites as well, so that you never have to, worry about catching a cab to get halfway across town because your hotel's out in the middle of nowhere. That's not the case with Colette, and we've really done a great job of perfecting our tour pacing to where our guests are spending less time on the motor coach, more time really absorbing all the sights and cultural attractions and destination, and uh, and not having to constantly pack and unpack. So a lot of our tours, we've minimized the number of one-night stays. We have an entire style of travel which is features stays at one hotel, and many of our tours feature just 2 stays to minimize the packing and unpacking. So I think those are all important aspects um, about Colette's touring style. We've been in business for 106 years now. This makes us the oldest tour company in the United States. So I think that really speaks towards our reliability. The fact that we gave out 185, million dollars in cash refunds during COVID, when a lot of our competitors were offering to their travelers what were called future travel credits, which were essentially vouchers. So those tour companies hung on to the deposits that they had received for tours that had to be canceled. And I think it speaks to our, levels of our concern with doing the right thing, that we gave cash refunds during COVID when, people were probably strapped for cash, and who knew when we were going to be traveling again, right? So um, also, very easy booking process. We provide you with lots of different ways to book with us, especially with group tours like this. You've got a dedicated landing page, which I'll show you at the end of this presentation, where you can go and register for the trip, learn all about the trip. And a really seasoned team in guided travel. I've been in travel for many years, designed product myself for 2 different companies. So was really impressed when I came on board with Collette about a year and a half ago, and saw the amazing product that we really work to put out, where we're really immersing our guests in the culture and taking them beyond the must-see sites. That's where we've really changed the game in the way guided travel is done, I would say. So this is the Maritimes Coastal Wonders, a wonderful tour of Eastern Canada. It's an 11-day tour with 16 meals included, and you might notice the little fork in the road icon next to the word meals. That denotes our choice on tour feature. So that's a feature that Collette has innovated in guided travel. And what that means is that wherever you see that icon on a particular tour, it means that on a given day of that tour, you will be given a choice of usually 2 activities that you can participate in uh, for different levels of activeness. And also, I, I find that this is kind of important on a couple of levels. One, it breaks up the perception that guided travel is very rigid, and that you always have to follow the same itinerary, always stick with the same group, and so forth. And number 2, I think one of the other reasons we like to do this is because even if we're sharing a room with the person we love most on this planet, if we're sharing a hotel room with them for several days at a stretch, several nights at a stretch, either they snore or we snore, might not be a bad idea to get a break from each other for the day, go off and do different things. So that's our choice on tour feature. And I'll, of course, touch upon the specific details of this particular choice on tour feature later during this presentation. This tour is being offered at a wonderful time to visit Eastern Canada, July 10th through the 20th of 2025. Of course, where we live, it's hot and humid at that time of year. But in Eastern Canada, the temperatures are quite mild, and it's really the best time of year to visit this part of Canada is in the summer months when it's when it's warm enough to be enjoyable, but still quite mild compared to where we live. So we're going to start with the sort of view from 30,000 feet, and then I'm going to dive into the day-to-day details with some captivating images. So this tour involves flying to Halifax, Nova Scotia, where you will spend your first 3 nights in Canada, after which we will then move on to Cape Breton Island and Baddeck, where you will stay for 2 nights. From there, you will take a ferry crossing to Prince Edward Island and stay for 2 nights in Charlottetown. And then after that, we'll make our way across New Brunswick to St. John for a 2-night stay. Then a ferry ride back to Nova Scotia with the coach taking us back to Halifax for your final night stay in Canada. The overall activity level of this tour is a level 2. We rate our tours from level 1 to 4, 1 being the easiest, 4 being the more challenging or more active activity level. And it's important to point out that when we come up with these activity levels, when we design these activity levels, we're basing that on our core traveler demographic, which is 55 years of age and older. So we're not taking into account, say, 20-somethings that run marathons on the weekends when we're coming up with these activity levels. Activity level of 2 is moderate, quite balanced approach to travel. It means you're comfortable walking, say, 2 or 3 miles over the course of a day, and can handle a variety of terrains from cobblestone streets to moderate hills without assistance. And the maximum walking tour on this particular tour is no more than 1 mile or 1 hour. Most days do include over 2 hours of driving time, and 3 days include over 4 hours of driving time. And you can expect some full days balanced with free time to recharge or set out on your own adventure. While this level is appropriate for travelers that require mobility assistance devices, there could be times when you might have to sit out for some of the included activities. So on day 1, you're going to explore the picture-perfect region known as Canada's Maritimes. You'll venture along the rugged and pristine beauty of this region, all while getting to know its fun-loving Acadian and Gaelic culture. And after your first overnight on day 2, stunning landscapes await you. It's off to see one of the most picturesque spots in all of Canada, beautiful Peggy's Cove, which you can admire in this image here. This area contains many small fishing villages that are quite historic. The historic lighthouse here overlooks the Atlantic Ocean and provides one of the most memorable views you'll ever see. Then later on, you'll explore Halifax's charming downtown on a tour highlighting the waterfront, the public gardens, and the famous Citadel. And you'll enjoy dinner at a local restaurant here. On day 3, you'll experience the small fishing village of Mahone Bay before traveling along the beautiful lighthouse route towards Lunenburg. Once home to Paleo Indian settlements, Mahone Bay now hosts people looking to get away and young entrepreneurs. And the bay is also known for their wooden boat industry. So here's our choice on tour feature. Your choice number 1 is a tour of the Fisheries Museum, where you'll delve into the local heritage of this region of the Atlantic. Take a look at the fishing heritage of Eastern Canada, where former fishermen helped contribute to the museum's authenticity. And choice number 2 here is to embark on a locally guided walking tour to discover Lunenburg's unique architecture. This architecture blends cultural influences with strong roots in European styles. And then you'll end your day back in Halifax for an evening on your own. Perhaps you'll walk along the waterfront or relax at a local restaurant. And for local meals, when they are not included on tour, I highly recommend that you ask your tour manager. They're going to be up to the minute on the local beat, to be able to recommend restaurants for any budget, from a simple bistro on up to a Michelin-starred restaurant. And day 4, you're going to head to picturesque Cape Breton, and you'll start your morning at the Millbrook Cultural and Heritage Center to learn about the Micmac heritage and Glooscap legends. You'll see artifacts including intricate quill and beadwork, and also learn some words from the Micmac language. Then you'll travel the Canso Causeway on the way to stunning Cape Breton Island, set out on a scenic drive by the pristine shores of Brastor Lakes, Canada's only inland sea. Then you'll stop at the Gaelic College and watch North America's first Gaelic language short film, after which you'll learn how the great kilt was made during a brief kilt making demonstration. You'll also learn a few handy Gaelic phrases and join in the fun of a milling frolic. You'll practice a Gaelic song while sitting around a table and beating a large loop of woolen cloth in rhythm. The milling frolic harkens back to the time when the entire community would get together to help get the woolen cloth ready for use. And then after arriving in Baddeck, enjoy dinner featuring local flavors. Day 5, you're going to set off to explore the Cabot Trail. You'll fall in love with its rugged terrain and spectacular views of the Atlantic Ocean. This trail curls around Cape Breton Island, stretching for a total length of nearly 200 miles. You'll also visit the famed St. Peter's Church in Cheticamp. This church was built in 1893 and overlooks the harbor here. And then enjoy a picnic lunch in Cape Breton Highlands National Park. Then even more beauty awaits you as you pause at the fishing communities along the coast, including lovely Neal's Harbor. Then on day 6, you'll explore the amazing range of inventions on display at the Alexander Graham Bell Museum. Alexander Graham Bell is, of course, credited with the invention of the first telephone in 1876, and here you'll peruse the Bell family's personal collection, including different components of Alexander's experiments. Then you'll take a short ferry ride to Prince Edward Island, the land cradled on the waves, and roll up your sleeves and get ready for the ultimate island culinary experience. You'll attend a culinary boot camp where you'll compete for bragging rights to determine who cooks the best Prince Edward Island mussels. Then on day 7, you'll come to know the rolling landscapes of Prince Edward Island, the backdrop of the acclaimed novel Anne of Green Gables. Take in the sprawling beaches, red sand dunes, and endless green hills here. You'll arrive into delightful Cavendish and view Prince Edward Island's National Park's picturesque beaches. This is a popular summer destination for locals and tourists alike, and here you can admire the scenic beauty and breathe in the fresh air. You'll visit the Anne of Green Gables Museum. This house was built by the relatives of L.M. Montgomery, the author, who refers to the house as the wonder castle of her childhood. And you'll meet a farmer here who teaches the art of potato farming, the island's leading industry. Then return to Charlottetown with time to explore this fascinating city on your own and discover seaside Charlottetown's narrow streets lined with quaint homes and hidden treasures. Then on day 8, you'll leave Prince Edward Island behind as you cross the stately Confederation Bridge. This bridge crosses over the Abigwait Passage, connecting Prince Edward Island to the mainland. You'll travel along the sea-sprayed shoreline to the amazing Hopewell Rocks, a New Brunswick icon. These flower pot-shaped rocks were carved by the Fundy tides. They seem to rise 4 stories high at low tide, only to disappear into tiny islands when the tide is high. You'll continue your journey through New Brunswick to the city of St. John, where you'll enjoy a 2-night stay in this bustling waterfront area. This port city overlooks the Bay of Fundy, which is located between the 2 provinces of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. St. John was founded in 1785 and is the oldest incorporated city in Canada. On day 9, you'll greet the awe-inspiring Fundy Trail early this morning. Far from the bustling crowds, you'll marvel at the views of the Fundy's legendary tides. These are the highest tides on the planet. Make stops along the way that not only review breathtaking views, but also provide the chance to savor authentic maritime dulse, type of seaweed, fiddleheads, and traditional fiddle music. And in a world famous restaurant near the Bay of Fundy's Beach, savor a traditional Maritimes lobster feast as an expert teaches you how to crack and eat lobster like a local. Gaze out your window at St. Martin's famous covered bridges on your way to St. John. And then on day 10, on board a ferry for Nova Scotia, you'll make a stop at the Grand Pre National Historical Site. Here you'll uncover the complex history of the Acadian people, proud descendants of the indigenous population of this region. This UNESCO World Heritage Site was once an epicenter of Acadian culture and is now a powerful memorial to their history. You'll continue on to Halifax and enjoy time for yourself before a farewell dinner, toasting to the end of your Maritimes journey. We do look forward to you joining us on this fascinating tour of beautiful Eastern Canada. As we move to wrap up, I'd just like to go over a few additional features of Collette. Number one being our hometown pickup service. This enables you to leave the hassle of getting to and from the airport behind you. You don't have to worry about cabs or Ubers or paying for parking at the airport. We're going to pick your group up at a pre-designated location and take them to the local airport round trip. This is a very popular.
Well, just to stop you there for a
Yeah.
second, I think this only works if our group comes out of one specific area.
So we probably have people traveling from all over, so they would then waive that. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. So you can further personalize your travel with adventure with us through a variety of means. Again, for dining experiences, I always recommend that you chat with your tour manager. They're going to reach out to travelers about a week prior to departure with an email to introduce themselves. That's a great opportunity for you to kind of get to know a person that hopefully you'll get to know very closely during your tour, and it will assist you in maximizing your experience with us. So they will definitely be able to advise you on the best places to dine in the various locations, and also for shopping. If you're interested in souvenirs and gifts for your friends and loved ones, the tour managers can also help you with that. And of course, with any serious matters you have on tour, the tour manager is always on hand to assist you with anything more serious. Optional excursions, where we offer those. You do have the option of paying for them. You can actually book them through the online portal, which I'll provide the link to in a moment. And then some of our tours do have tour extensions, not this particular tour, but you are always welcome to add additional pre and post nights if you'd like to stay a little longer. We're happy to help you with that. And then if you want air upgrades, if you're interested in premium economy or business class airfare, we're always happy to help you with that. We recommend in that case that you contact us as soon as possible, register for your tour as soon as possible, so that we can assist you in getting the best flights and fares. Also, I should mention, if you are interested in single accommodations, we typically have a rather finite number of single rooms available for each tour, usually about 5 rooms. So it's definitely in your best interest in that case. I would encourage you to book with us as soon as possible if you're interested in a single room, to make sure that we can honor that request. Also, a word on our no worries, cancel for any reason travel protection. I can honestly say this is the best travel insurance available in the industry. I don't know of any other company which provides this level of coverage to where you get a full refund for cancellation at any time. All you have to do is let us know by midnight the night prior to the day of your departure that you need to cancel, and you'll get a full refund for cancellation, minus, of course, the insurance premium. And then once you're on tour, that's going to cover you just like any other trip insurance. It's going to cover you for medical assistance, emergency evacuation, baggage loss or delay, or trip interruption or delay, all with around-the-clock emergency assistance. And also important to mention with our trip insurance, since it's canceled for any reason, a lot of trip insurances, the insurance premium can vary based on the traveler's age or upon their health profile. Whereas again, since this is canceled for any reason trip insurance, it's a flat premium cost. Everyone pays the same amount. Just a quick word on passports and visas. U.S. citizens are not required to have a visa to enter into Canada. However, you must have a valid passport. And it's important to note that when you're registering for a tour with us, that you enter your name exactly matching your name as it appears on your passport, including any middle initials or middle names, because the TSA can be quite sticklers about this, and there have been cases of people being denied boarding for something as simple as one letter being off in their names on their travel documents. So just once again, to reiterate, please double, triple check your names when you're registering for a tour with us. Of course, if you do at some point detect a discrepancy with your travel documents, we're happy to help you correct that. However, that can be a little time consuming, a little bit stressful for you. And if we don't find out until the 11th hour, it can be quite costly. So again, just to reiterate, please make sure that you're transmitting your passport name to us exactly as it appears on your passport when you're registering for a tour with us. So you can register for this particular tour by following this web link. In addition to the itinerary and information on the cancel for any reason trip insurance, you'll find a great deal of information on for example, what the local weather is going to be like during your time of travel, tips on what to wear, what to pack, how to pack it, electrical adapters that you might need, local currency, how readily available it is. There's a huge wealth of information on this registration page about this tour. So I encourage you to check it out. It's an easy registration process. We accept all major credit cards. It's a secure connection. And if you're interested in joining us on this tour, you'll want to sign up no later than the 10th of January of 2025. We are holding space for your group until then. And by booking by that deadline, you will save $100 per person off the price of this tour. That wraps it up for this presentation. If there are any questions, I look forward to answering those right now. Just checking the see if there's any
Where do they
That was
find
a
the,
great presentation. The one thing that I want to mention is if somebody's not comfortable booking on the link directly, they can reach out to travel leaders and we will send you the packet of information either by regular mail or email, whatever works best for you. And you can complete the sign up process through us as well.
where do you
Yeah, that's
find
a good
the
point.
trip insurance info? How much?
The trip insurance, I'm just going to stop sharing here for a second and get you the information. The trip insurance needs to be purchased at the time of deposit.
And
And
it's $429 per
yeah,
person.
Okay, thank you. What company is it?
the parent company is Zurich.
Oh, that's the insurance company, Zurich?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, thanks.
You're so
And it is
welcome.
right on the registration forms, all that info.
Oh, okay. But you can use that company whether you go through Collette or somebody else, right? Or is it
Yes,
only
but
Collette?
only Collette has this special agreement where we can provide cancel for any reason trip insurance. So it's
Oh,
kind of a
okay.
two-part. There's two parts to it. Part A is the cancel for any reason component, and then part B is what kicks in once travelers start touring with us. So the part B coverage is
You're
probably
wet.
what you'd be able to get through the insurance company if you were to go direct with them.
Okay,
Anna, you won't beat that price and that amount of coverage.
That's
that's
a good
true.
point.
I already
And
figured that out.
also,
Yeah.
it's
Thank
what
you.
I always like to mention about the trip insurance, and this is sort of a special exception for group departures like this one, is you might recall just a minute ago, I mentioned the seat reduction deadline. Well, we call the seat reduction deadline, the deadline to sign up for the tour, the date up to which we're holding space for on this tour for you all is January 10th of 2025. The special exception for groups is that if someone were to sign up for the tour, let's say today, pay the deposit, purchase the trip insurance, but then they canceled before the 10th of January. In that case, not only would they get their deposit back, but they would also get their insurance premium back. Past that date, of course, they would lose the insurance premium. But that's very important to note because it basically means that if someone signs up for this tour and cancels after purchasing the trip insurance, of course, cancels before that deadline, they essentially have nothing to lose.
And I have to tell you, I don't know of any other company that does that. Usually once you've purchased the trip protection insurance, you own that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard for any kind of insurance, whether it's, auto insurance, home insurance. Once you pay the premium, whether you use the insurance or not, you've lost the premium. You've paid that. So that's really a great benefit. Do we have any other questions before we wrap up here?
if somebody wants to reach out to us at the travel agency for more information or for to receive a copy of the itinerary and registration information, you can give us a call. I'll give you my number. For anybody who joined later, I'm Leanne from Travel Leaders Action Travel Tours, and we're the agency that's hosting this tour with Collette. My number here directly is 301-843-0887. And our email is admin, so ADMIN, at actiontraveltours.com. So we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might come up with afterwards, or if you would like to receive all of the information directly.
Leanne, that's all on the paperwork you sent us, right? That I put online?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Can you type your email in the chat real quick while we're waiting? Thank you. As long as we have it online, at least we can direct people when they call. Thank you.
Yes, that was in all of the
I thought so.
information.
I thought so. Just double checking.
Does anybody have any questions for Paul? Well, Paul, I appreciate your time this morning. I appreciate that wonderful presentation on the trip. And I look forward to us having many signups from MRSPA because I think it's a great itinerary and the timing of the trip is perfect for the best weather out there.
Absolutely. Thank you, Leanne, as always. Thanks everyone for attending this morning. We really appreciate your time and interest, and look forward to your traveling with us.
Yeah, thank you. That's my dog. Thank you for doing this. Well, we're dog sitting. Thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it. I love your pictures, and you even had labels on them. That was really great.
Yeah, that helps. Great.
Yes.
Well, so glad to have had this opportunity to present this tour to you all. It is really a wonderful itinerary. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day, everyone.
Everybody, thanks, Lana.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.